Okay, so I'm going to give you a insight as to what exactly transpired where Joshua Pelletier, was this close to not being here. Um, Bear with me as I recount this story. It may get a little bit much for me. If it gets a little bit much for you, just turn it off. But I want to share this story to show that I am human. And even though I have a lot of good qualities, and I'm able to do a lot of good things, that does not mean I'm better or bigger than anything. And in this story, what you're about to hear is all true. This is going to sound like a script. It's going to sound like a movie. It's going to sound like somebody wrote this, with AI or something like that. But no, what you're about to hear in this story actually happened. And as I'm rethinking it, I'm trying not to relive it, but I can see it happening almost in real time. Uh, Thank you all who have contacted me, who have reached out, who have been in support of me, who have just checked on me. You don't realize how important that is until you go through something like this. And life has been lifing for me. And this was a wake-up call to probably do a lot of things different. Probably approach situations different, deal with people differently, look at how I handle situations and opportunities. It's really an opportunity to take a breath and realize that everything is precious until it's not. But you don't realize something is not precious until you feel like it's not. So the moral of the story really in this situation, or one of them, is don't take anything for granted. Treat people with kindness and care, and don't think you're bigger than who created you. And this was a reminder to me that I am amazing, but I'm not the source of my amazement. This situation helped me connect more to source than I have in a long time. I've had several situations where I always go back to the closet and connect to source, but I sometimes go back into the ego of being me. And my therapist, as she so boldly stated, she said, Josh, grace runs out. And I think this was a wake up call that says, I don't think I have too many more opportunities for grace to come my way. Now, this is not the first time that I could have lost my life, but this is the first time I felt like it was really, really possible, but this was the end. In this situation I'm about to speak about, I felt like this was it. This was it. And if anybody has felt like that and doesn't have anybody to talk to and doesn't know what to say or who to talk to, feel free to contact me, because now I can truly see and understand what they say when they say, Josh, you have no idea what I went through. I almost died and this, that, and the other thing, whatever. You hear though. No, it's not that simple. And my arrogance towards that has changed. I mean, this thing, I mean, God has really helped me to understand that, Josh, it ain't about you. I always tell people I'm a conduit, and I am. And I believe that I'm just a vessel, but I believe that I'm supposed to be more of a vessel and be a bigger conduit and really move myself out of the situation. So I'm going to talk about what happened. Oh, and I want to thank everybody. And there was one man who called me out the blue. And he called me at the right time. It was it was right on time when he called me. And I don't even know him that well. I haven't been known that long, but that call, that text message really made a difference. And I just want to say thank you. And you know who you are, sir. And I appreciate you. So I'm going to recount this story, not for my benefit, but for people who want to be better. And let me tell you, don't take anything for granted. And I said this about 4 or 5 times. Stuff is just stuff. It will always be stuff. You can always get more stuff. But the one thing you cannot get back is your life. So let me start. I have been swimming, excuse me, for a very, very long time. I was blessed to go to private schools a lot of my life. And it was one private school I went to in Kansas City, Missouri, called Brookside Elementary. With Brookside, they would always take us in summer. So my summer school at the school I went to was not about education and passing. Where I lived in the inner city, and a lot of people were going to summer school. And I would go to them and talk to them. I was like, man, what y'all do today at summer school? And it was like, what do we do today at summer school? We was in class. And I was like, really? You in class? Y'all don't do nothing? So the school I was at, we went field trips like every Friday. We went skating. We went swimming. We went to Worlds of Fun. If you're in from Kansas City, you know Worlds of Fun. It's like Six Flags, but smaller. We always had something to do. We went putt-putt golfing. We did everything. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. Now, granted, let me caveat, all the private school we went to, we didn't get to stay because there was always some financial challenge. But I was in enough private schools to understand how different people operated. I was lucky, but I would always get the grades, and the teacher would say, here go your grades, and it'd be a bill. And they said, da, 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 and I said, okay. And they was always cool about it. They was never, make a big scene about it, because they always bring you back and show your grades or whatever. They tell you your progress and everything. Mine would be a bill. They wouldn't be showing my grades. So I didn't stay in all my private schools. I went to 3 or 4 of them, as a matter of fact. But that was a constant theme. But during the summer, we always did stuff. So I thought summer school for everybody was like that. I found out real quick that wasn't the case. So in a lot of my summer school doings or trainings, or not trainings, but outings, we would always go swimming. And they had a pool that was right down the street from my school. So every day almost, and we weren't taking a field trip, we would go swimming. And I really didn't know how to swim. But I remember at a young age, my father said jump in the 12-foot pool at Swope Parkway. For anybody from Kansas City, they know Swope Park Pool. And I was able to swim. I wasn't that good, but I thought I was. But when I was able to get around other people who did know how to swim, all I did was mimic them and copy them. That's it. And then as I went to middle school, then high school, all private schools. And once again, always getting kicked out, have to go to a public school. But the best public school I ever went to in the history of my life, and the best school I ever went to, and I will mark this down, Southeast Middle Magnet. That daggone Principal Hall, that was the best school. Well, I feel like I learned the most and was able to really have a foundation who I was. But understanding, learning how to copy how they swam. Now, I went to school with people who was getting swimming lessons from professional people, and one school I went to, they had a pool there. And every summer, once again, summer school, we would just go swimming, and they would be racing. Now, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I would mimic them, and I did okay. So I figured out, just copy what they do, but breathe, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Because I was kind of ashamed to say I didn't know how to swim, or that I didn't have the means to go swimming like they did. But at the end of the story, I became a really good swimmer. Really good, above average. I'm not like Michael Phelps. I'm not like all these other folks, like Greg Louganis, like my friend called me the other day. I'm not like him. But I am a swimmer that I can swim and hold my own. The challenge is, and this is where my humility and humbleness did not come into play. I was at a beach over the break, and the beach was really, really calm. It was really calm, really calm. But me, in my Joshua way, I was eating some chicken. I know this is going to sound cray-cray. Like I said, it's going to sound like a script, but it's not. This is real. I was eating some chicken, acting cocky as all arrogant with the phone, and I was recording myself eating the chicken. And I said, I am in the ocean eating some chicken. Who does that? Who does that? Now, two things. One, the phone died. Two, the phone got super wet and it is still messed up to this day. I hope it gets better. So I went to go put the phone down, and I went back to the ocean. And I'm just chilling in the ocean sea. I don't know where I was, which one it was. And I was just do, and then just being cocky and arrogant. And next thing I know, I look up, and the shore is really, really far away. And I said to myself, how did I even get out here? And I realized I couldn't touch the bottom anymore. And I said, what the funnel cake is going on? You know? So I said, shoot, I'm out this far. Let me go out even further. Once again, arrogant, going out again. So I'm out in the sea, ocean, whatever it is. And I look back, and this wave has got to be at least 7 feet higher than me. It's coming at me in full force. And when it comes, it hits me in my head, knocks me underwater, and I'm fighting underwater like, what in the world just happened? I come back up, and I said, Josh, what the what? I'm trying to catch my breath, trying to keep it together. I look over my shoulder again. Another wave is coming that is higher than the last one. This wave hit me again in my head. This time, it takes me all the way under. I am probably at the bottom of wherever I'm at. I am turned upside down. The water is kicking me back and forth, back and forth. I'm reaching, grabbing hold onto nothing. I'm concentrating, telling myself to breathe. I said, what the funnel cake? I come back up again. I am like really trying to gain my composure. I'm trying to stay focused. I said, Josh, we have got to focus. We have got to keep it together. We have got to breathe. All that jokey I was doing, that thing went out the window so fast. I'm getting it together. Here comes another wave. This one came and it felt like if I was to get hit by Mike Tyson. I felt I hit in the head, hit in the stomach, and hit in my side. And it was bam, bam. If you can imagine a fish inside of a fish bowl, and the fish bowl, somebody just picks it up and just shakes it like crazy. Imagine a fish bowl going on a roller coaster. That's how I felt. I open my eyes underwater and all I see is blackness. I don't see anything. I'm asking myself, am I even still here? Am I even still present? What is going on? I have never actually seen blackness before. I've seen darkness. I've had my eyes closed. But the best way I could describe it is seeing the color and feeling it. My eyes are open. The water is getting in my nose. It's getting in my mouth. It is burning my lips. It is so salty. It's burning my mouth. I am having a hard time. I'm trying to keep it together. I come back up again. I'm gasping for breath. I have to keep my heart rate down low because if I go too fast, I'm going to burn out. Every time I look up, there's a wave that is in front of me and behind me. In front of me, I'm trying to figure out, am I even in the right direction? Where is the shore? The wave was so high, I could not see the shore. I was like, what in the world is going on? It keeps on happening. I look up, the shore finally appears. I'm further out. I said, okay, keep it together. Here comes another wave, and I try myself to prepare for it. This time it takes me under, flips me, and it spins me around. I am underwater, and I don't think you, and if you know anything about riptides, please feel free to comment. I am not a connoisseur. Once again, I was cocky and arrogant. I didn't know it was going to happen. It pushed me. It's like it's pushing me down. It's like it's holding me down underground. Not underground, but underwater. And just keeping me there. And I can only come up when it allows me to come. It's not like I can fight up. I can't climb a ladder. I can't do whatever. This keeps on happening. Okay? It was like the fourth or fifth time when it happened, I saw two images. I saw two people. I remember seeing my mother and I remember seeing my client. That's it. I said, what is this about? So then I'm starting to process. Is this because of something I did? Am I being punished? Is this what's going on? What did I do? How did I get here? But still, I have to focus, gain my breath, make sure that everything is together. On the fifth or sixth time, I finally get a rhythm down. So when the wave is coming now, I go underwater first. It still hits me, but it doesn't take me as far. As I'm going down, I keep my composure. I come back up. I look back to check on the wave because they still coming. Before the wave comes, I swim. Swim, 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 swim. Wave comes again. I go back under again. Takes me down a little bit more, not as far, because I go down before the wave hits me. I come back up, I let it come back up, look back, swim, 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 swim. It does it again. And I said to myself, I'm going too fast because I don't want to burn out. It comes again, I do the same thing, keep my composure, spit all the water out, blowing my nose out, and then this necklace, it came off. Now, this is where I probably should have just let it go. I grabbed it. I said, I'm not losing this. I am not losing this necklace. For whatever reason, I did not want to let this thing go. I'm swimming with one hand. Then I finally take the necklace and put it in my pocket. Um, I get that together, but then I feel like I have a little rhythm. I feel like I have a little rhythm. It feels like I'm at least gaining 5 to 10 feet every time I swim. So the wave will come, knock me under. I swim, 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 and then the wave comes back and pushes me back. I wait, knock me under again, swim, swim, swim. So it's like I'm taking 3 steps forward, but 2 steps back every single time. And I just remembered when I was in the pool and I've been swimming the whole weeks prior, I said to myself, Josh, you have the endurance to do this. Just take your time, stay focused, and be level. Don't panic. Watch your breathing. Because in this situation, I realized immediately there was nobody that was going to save me. Nobody. There were 2 people on the shore that were watching me. And I said to myself, there's nothing they can do. They were like dots, number one. Number two, I don't think they could swim that well. Number three, by the time they went and got somebody, it could have been a rapture. There was no Bowie, there was no helicopter, there's no music playing, there's no scene that was coming to save me. This was me being focused and God saying, listen, get it together, young brother. I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you a chance. This goes on. It felt like a good 30, 40 minutes. And I can see myself inching closer and closer and closer and closer to the shore. And I had to keep my breath, keep my pace, keep my heart rate down, not panic, keep the endurance. It was a process. After a while, I finally make it back. And I get to the shore where I can put my feet on the ground. And I just stand there for a good second. And the 2 people that are watching me, is 2 guys, they're watching me. They was like, bruh. They was like, we thought you was gone because we didn't see you for minutes at a time. I said, yeah, I know. But I had it under control. And the other 2, he was like, whatever. Really, I didn't. And really, I was scared as all get out, but I had to keep it focused because in a split second, when you don't really understand your surroundings and you get caught up in yourself, you will get caught up in yourself. It didn't really hit me until what really happened until I got back later that night. And I'm masking, and I think I mask probably too good sometimes to where I convince myself. But when I get back by myself and I was able to sit down and actually replay it, man, my heart beating again, and replay it all over again, it's a straight miracle. And the thing about it, and this is true in everything in life, you don't realize the trauma while you're in the trauma. You don't realize the effect while it's happening. That's why it's called post-traumatic. It's not the trauma that's happened. It's the post. It's after the trauma. So understanding when I was finally able to get settled, it all came crashing down on how blessed and how lucky I was. Because when you're in the moment, all you're thinking about is surviving. But, once you get out of it, your body now has to deal with that. And I was in pain. I was in physical pain for a couple of days. It is a miracle that I didn't have a concussion because the water was hitting you like a brick. It felt like just a wave, and water is interesting. And I saw this documentary on it, how it can be fine-tuned to where the point it turns into like a laser, and it can cut anything. And this, they had a thing where the water was cutting cement, it was cutting wood, it was cutting all kind of metal, because it was how it was constructed and coming through this little funnel thing. And at the same time, it can turn into something real heavy. And then at the same time, it can be something soft, calm, and nurturing. It's a very interesting element, and something that I highly suggest you do not play with. People want to talk about how deadly fire is. I seem to think that water has some very, can have some very catastrophic challenges if it's not dealt with properly. So I say that when people saw me, they thought I was okay and I was able to laugh at it. But when I was spending time by myself and reflecting back on it, that wasn't nothing but God. I know my skill set got me there, but God put that in my head. And it showed me that, Josh, your whole life, I went to 2 black schools, Fisk University, Howard University, FSK, all night, all day, HU, and I went to a white school, Upper Iowa University. But I was always, I gotta be careful how I do this. I always thought that I was gifted because I was able to have all these opportunities. I had a lot of situations where I've been in, and I've been blessed because of, one, how my parents involved me in certain things, 2, the environment I was placed in, and 3, I could run my mouth. I was able to get into a lot of places because of that. But this situation has helped me understand that even though I, quote unquote, did these things, I really didn't do them. God placed my parents together. God put me in these positions. God gave me these opportunities. In reality, I can't take credit for anything. I can't take credit for one thing. It's all about the opportunity that was placed for me and the position I was put in the first place. And I am very, very thankful that I'm able to speak to you right now. I didn't tell anybody for a while how tough it was, because I really wasn't looking for sympathy or empathy, because in reality, I caused it. I really did that. And God, he said, wake up, young buck. Wake up. You think you all that? Let me show you. And then I was trying to be like that towards nature. You don't realize how big stuff is and how small you really are in the world until you're put inside of something to show you. I am dope. I am dope as crack, but I am like this small in the vastness of everything that is. And I think God was trying to tell me, get it together. Make sure that you understand that you the bomb, but you are not the bomb. And God and universe and nature, they were speaking loud as clear. It was the craziest thing. I got to the shore. I looked back. The water is calm as all get out. It's like so serene. It's almost like you couldn't even hear it. And I said, I got you, God. I got you. I was not mad. I was not angry. I was not upset. I'm just thankful and extremely grateful. So my message to you, and only you, try to be an individual who learns from what I went through. You do not have to go through it. Take my story as an example, as be mindful of your surroundings, appreciate where you are, humble yourself in every environment. Don't think you bigger than God or the universe or the nature. And look at what you have and be thankful for it. And if I have not learned anything else, I have learned, listen, Josh, step all the way back. I have repositioned, I have reorganized, I have restructured, I have reanalyzed how I do everything. Everything. And this has given me an opportunity to really appreciate God, universe, self even more. All of the snow and all the stuff we had in Atlanta, I said, man, that's okay. Just take your time. I grew up in Kansas City. We used to have black ice where you would be driving and you couldn't even see the ice. You think everything is fine? You slide. And I left my car in the ditch probably twice because wasn't nothing I can do about it. I had to go get it the next day when it heated up a little bit. And I went to school in Iowa. We was 7, 9 inches of snow. We was still going to school. And the one thing they tell you in those situations, take your time, drive slow. So take your time, drive slow. Don't try to be bigger than who you are. Just be thankful that you have an opportunity. And I'm just so appreciative of everyone that reached out. Yeah. So yeah, let my story be a lesson to you.